Why do you watch Counter-Strike? I suspect that many of you, just like me, like to watch the best in the world at something you enjoy doing. It's why people like to watch Steph Curry drain threes, it's why we like watching Virat Kohli dispatch of poor deliveries, and why we like to watch Harry Maguire defend. Cheap shot? Yeah, maybe. The best player of all time is arguable, but we choose to just enjoy all of the greats from throughout history, so let's have a chat about never one without the other. It's hard to talk about the early days of CSGO without talking about Forrest and GetRight, CSGO's first superstar duo. Forrest was the alpha, GetRight was the omega. Forrest opened up the rounds and GetRight closed them down. Forrest had that elite first bullet accuracy, while GetRight had the spray control. And they really had to be this good, because they had challengers both internationally and intranationally. Shox and Scream emerged as a duo who could go toe to toe with Forrest and GetRight, and they were like more specialised versions. Scream had that filthy one-tap aim, and Shox is still one of the most feared clutchers of all time. France had another superstar on the come up, who was known for being lightning fast. With Fnatic's JW doing similarly disturbing things with the big green gun, and subsequently getting it nerfed, 3 of JW's teammates were all also absurdly good. France and Sweden dominated the early years. In fact, there were only 3 non-French or Swedish players who could be considered anywhere near the top of the list. You might have heard of some of them: Guardian of Natus Vincere, and Snacks and Pasha Biceps of Virtus Pro. Ladislav Guardian Kovacs was the most feared player from the CIS region, for years carrying Na'Vi to heights seemingly unreachable with the big green gun. Whereas Pasha Biceps and Snacks were part of everyone's favourite team. Snacks was the brains, Pasha Biceps was the brawn. Like, literally. Pasha Biceps was known for not just being a great Counter-Strike player, but also crushing stereotypes about gamers. Physically crushing stereotypes. Come 2015, and Olofmeister had emerged as the best player in the world, with near undisputed dominance. Fnatic was shit-stomping everyone, and Olof was untouchable, an absolute demon with any gun you could want. I mean, to be this dominant, this commanding on a team that's already full of superstars was astounding. Olofmeister's longevity, his sheer skill and force of will was just wonderful to watch. Speaking of longevity, this was the breakout of a modern day superstar. Tom Cruise lookalike by day, does his own stunts by night. Device waltzed in and carried TSM to, well, 4th largely, but still. He was a bona fide superstar, with a rifle too. If we're talking about deadly duos, few are scarier than Brazil's greatest to ever do it. If Fallen was the king of Brazil, coldzera was his lieutenant. Fallen gave the orders, coldzera executed them with remarkable precision. Fallen was unpredictable, but coldzera was inevitable. Fallen is iconic, a man who made in-game leading cool, a swashbuckling AWPer for whom the term combat AWPing was designed. coldzera was the opposite. He was quiet, cold, clinical, calculating. You didn't hear from him until it was too late. A silent assassin, a knife in the back, a man who made every decision you made look like the wrong one. You couldn't peek him, but you couldn't let him have space. You couldn't kill him, but you couldn't leave him alive. While Fallen and coldzera carried their nation to glory, one man was tasked with carrying a team to glory. In fact, the team became named after him. Do you remember Nico Sports? Nico might be a modern superstar, but we've a certain misty-eyed nostalgia for watching him try to 1v9 on the old Mousesports roster. Before Chris J became a LAN player, Nico was the firepower of Mousesports. He dragged his team kicking and screaming to places they barely deserve to be, ripping heads off with some of the filthiest first bullet aim you will ever see. Before the Deagle incident of 2021, the sheer ringing off of a Deagle bullet when you were playing against Mousesports turned even lions to sheep. When he left Mousesports for FaZe, he was replaced by Oscar, who was a star who shined brightly, but petered out very quickly. Similarly, it was around this time that Kiebi peaked, and though he's refining his feet, he was a superstar for a short while. 2017 also saw the peaks of Adren and Hobbit. Fur was at the peak of his powers. I mean, Rain was sensational. Just before any of this though, we finally saw the fulfillment of a promise. Simple broke out in 2016 as he brought NA to a grand final and the world to its knees. Though they were eventually bested by Cold Zero and Fallen, Simple was here. Raw skill, testosterone-fueled outbursts and aggression, Simple was a bundle of unforeseeable power. This was just the first sign of what a harness Simple could look like. We obviously now know him as probably the best player of all time. Of course, as we get closer to the modern day, there are many names who are still stars now. Ziwu, Elige, Magisk, Electronic, Rops. There are some more through the years who came close to making it as a superstar. Dennis, at least on pistol rounds, Hiko, Skadoodle, Flamey, Swag, Kiyoshima, even Markelov and Neo from the olden days. Even in recent years we saw the atmospheric rise and falls of players like Ethan, Breezy, Sergey, but none of them could find consistency, and it's that sets apart greatness from the elite. Nowadays we've got players like Twist, Yekindar, Shiro, superstars in their own right. Time will tell how many of today's greats transition into the Hall of Fame. We've had 10 years of superstars. Here's to 10 years more. Maybe in 10 years time we could be talking about you, future pros.